Good morning. This is another scrap busting tutorial and it's about how to make one of these, and this is just from card scraps. You open it up and you've got an inside made from paper scraps, and I will show you how to embellish it in a bit. So what we start with is making this 3 fold out piece of collage text, and I made a start there. Did not have my glue to hand. One of these days I will get myself together, I promise. Might take a while though. I need something to glue on. So, and as you can see, these are different types of text. So different scraps gathered from my scraps box. I've layered those 2 across. Others I'm just going to put straight down. There's no rule on size. It all depends on the final size that you want it to be when it's done. And don't worry if you've got little bits of paper flipping up, because when you finish prepping it, they will probably all be stuck down. And I'm just using Yoo-Hoo glue stick because that tends to be my favourite. Okay, so, and that's all you'd need to do just to create a strip. I don't like folding my paper until it's dried, because I find if I fold it when the glue is still wet, it doesn't grip properly, and that's when I have problems. So what I do is I would do a rough measure along the bottom, and I would just tear off the pieces. You can cut them, but I like to tear my pieces. And if you want to neaten up that bit, you can just with scissors, or you just leave it as it is. So then what you do is you work out the 3 places that you wanted to fold it, and that's where I am with this one. So I worked out the 3 places I wanted to fold this, and once it was folded, I then went to my card stash and went for a piece that was just over double what that length is. So as you can see, that is, I put it up the red way, that is about 4 inches. So I cut a piece that was just over 9 inches because I wanted a nice overlap. And also, whenever I stick these down, I always make sure that there's a bit of an allowance there, again, so that when you fold it, there's room for the paper and the fold, so things don't get all bunched up. Okay, so that's what we have there, and this I would stick on the back, stick into a journal, or possibly do a U or something, or a C, and then stick it in so you'd have tuck spots. But the next thing I'd do with this is I would embellish it, and I've got some embellishing pieces here just to give you some ideas. So here I have, it's kind of like a strip of washi from a craft pack. The glue is very, very weak, as you may find with washi. So whenever you're using washi, I would always say, unless it's a washi that you know is super, super strong, use extra glue. So there you go. So you've got a little bit of embellishment there. Now I've got a pack of these which I picked up in a charity sale. No idea what to do with them, but that one will fit very well there. So I'm going to glue that and pop that there, and that gives me another writing space. And then for the other bits, what I've done is I've raided my I've raided my paper scrap stash. And I've gone with a pinky purpley theme. Okay. And when it comes to collage, I just tend to take a couple of pieces. So there's that one, that one. This is one of my homemade faux stamps. I loved making that. That was a lot of fun. So I need another gluing page or 2. And you may find that the light has just gone a bit funny because one of my cats has just jumped onto the window. There are loads of windows open at the moment. She has loads of places she could jump in, but of course she can see I'm doing something, So she wants to, you know, be in on the action. Bless her little heart. Or something. And because these are quite small pieces, I would only do a couple of elements on these collages, 2, maybe 3, because otherwise, because the space is so small, it's going to get crowded really easily. And one of those spaces is, for me, always going to be about writing, because I do like to write quite a lot in my journals. You may even be able to hear Daisy now. She's now crying to be let in. Oh, she's such a little poo. But I love her. I love her to pieces. And this is a piece of, I think, avocado dyed paper. Another little bit of scrap. And this is why something like this can be so satisfying for using up scraps. Because we all generate them, we all use them. And it's about, like, this is a good one for your really tiny bits of scrap as well. So they don't need to be very big. And whenever you're gluing, make sure you're not gluing on a fold, unless that's what you want. But if you do that, I would leave it to dry before you then refold. Now this one, I wanted to keep as much of that lady as I could. Let me lift the fold so I can see. And I'd like to use this stamp as well. Now this is a fabric stamp. So fabric placed on the back, something else. I can't remember what I used to glue it down now, but I'm going to use Yoo-hoo on it, but I don't know if it will fit, if it will fix it truly. So that's one of those where I'm going to make a note and go back to it and see if it actually does work. And that's a really useful thing if you're gluing a fabric or a material that you're not used to onto, even if it's like paper that you're not used to, or a different style of paper. For example, I did a load of dyeing with shaving foam, so I could make marbled paper, and it turned out really well. But fun fact for you, marbled paper, at least the kind I'd made, is utterly resistant to glue. So I merrily glued a load of stuff onto this marbled paper, and then it all fell off. Within like the next time I went to use it, it just all fell off. So that's why now when I'm doing something and I'm using materials or papers or something that I've not used before, I do now try to check, because that would be terribly embarrassing if you made something as a gift for someone and you stuck it down and then they opened it and it all goes, because you know you're making a journal, you're not making large confetti. You're making a journal. And for this one, I've just got a little printout here. And you can use whatever you like in these. You can even place tiny little envelopes if you want even more fold outs. There's no rules on what you can do in here. Although the more you put in it, the bulkier it will be, is all I'd say. And again, I'm trying to preserve that. And I also like some of these diary entries, so I'm going to preserve them too. And this is a good project for beginners if you are a little bit unsure of collage. If the word itself, you think, oh, it sounds quite daunting, I don't know if I can do it, I don't know if I can do it well. This is really easy kind of collage to cut your teeth on, you know, because like literally it's 2 pieces of paper, 1, 2, 3 images, and you can use colour as a theme. So you can, like, if you had that little image, yes, you've got the pink there, but you could also use green, you could also use like a brownie green there. So, you know, you've got lots and lots of options. So that. And then I've got, like, for example, this is a strip from, I took the main image because it was just beautiful and used it in something else. But I really like the colours here. And this is why when you get into something like junk journaling, you find yourself keeping the tiniest scraps, because you're like, I really like that. One day I can use it. And there you go. That day has come. Yes, I would like that one to be the one on top because I love it so. And this is another fragment of avocado dyed paper. Is it even in shop? Possibly not. But yeah, so this is another piece of avocado dyed paper. I went crazy recently with lots of dyeing. No more avocado, but I did do rose petals, blueberries, yellow onion skin and red onion skin. And I've made myself stop now because I have so many dyed papers that it's like, right, seriously, you need to use some more of these before you go trolling off trying to find something else to dye with. But once you get into it, it can be a bit addictive. But there are worse things to be addicted to in this world. So there you go. That is the ultimate thing you're going to end up with. I'm just going to grab one of my journals to give you an idea of how it can look. And this is my Florence journal. I need to do another flip through of really. So say for example you were to pop that there in your Florence journal, or your journal, see where we call Florence, and then it just folds out and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 extra little writing spaces, and you can use whatever card you want. You could collage the card, although again bear in mind each time you add another layer of collage it gets bulkier. That is, it's not mega thick, but it is starting to get bulky. So if you want to keep bulk to a minimum, just use like a well, not a plain piece of card, but a pattern piece of card, but without embellishing too much on it, and then leave your collage for the inside. So I hope you really enjoyed this. I found this a lot of fun to make, used up some more scraps and also some images and some ephemera that I'd made, like there and there, that I've really been wanting to use. Okay, well, I hope you all have a good day.